Yo guys, what is up? My name's Goblin Gamer and today we're talking about Clash of Clans. Specifically, a sequel to Clash of Clans known as Clash of Clans 2. Would it be a good idea or would it not be a good idea? That's what we're gonna be checking out today in this special theory video. And if you guys end up enjoying this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and also don't be afraid to check out my Brawl Stars on console theory video because it's quite interesting. And yeah, let's get right into Clash of Clans 2. Alright, so let's start off with the reasons why there should be a Clash of Clans 2, and boy, let me tell you, there is a lot of them. Now let's start off with the obvious. Clash of Clans is really old. In fact, it's over 7 years old. It actually came out all the way back in 2012, which seems like a really long time for a mobile game that it's still pretty relevant. But with age comes a lot of problems, like the fact that the graphics in Clash of Clans just don't stand up to today's standards. For example, Brawl Stars, the newest game from Supercell, has way better graphics than Clash of Clans, because it was released less than a year ago. But you can still see the very big difference between both games' graphics. And seriously guys, Brawl Stars' graphics are a lot better than Clash of Clans, and if you play Clash of Clans and then go directly to Brawl Stars, or do the opposite, you'll see the huge difference. Another problem that comes with old games is the fact that Clash of Clans is very saturated. By saturated, I mean that there's just so many updates, because for the last 7 years, Clash of Clans has received updates pretty much every few weeks. And although that is very good for the short term, in the long term, it just makes for a game that's really saturated and has just so many features, and it can become really complicated for new players to get into. Because obviously, when Supercell updates Clash of Clans, they add features, but they don't delete the old features because that just wouldn't make sense. But in the long term, it's just bad for the game because all the new players will just get confused. But a sequel to Clash of Clans would fix that problem because it would be a whole new game. You could just delete all the features that weren't that fun, keep the really fun ones from the old game, and of course add a whole bunch of new ones to make the experience more interesting. Also, it would kind of make sense for a new Supercell game to be made around now because they're not really working on any new games and probably have a little bit of extra free time, which they could probably come up with some new games and just new ideas for a Clash of Clans sequel. Of course, just because Supercell hasn't announced any new games doesn't mean they don't have any games in the making, because they might just be making it and waiting for the last minute to announce it, or maybe they just started making it and don't want to announce anything yet because they're not too sure if that game is going to be released or not. And for those of you that think that a Clash of Clans sequel is kind of a stupid idea, just look at Clash Royale. Clash Royale was a very successful game, and even one of Supercell's most successful, obviously, after Clash of Clans. And yeah, it's pretty much just a spin-off of Clash of Clans, which means that Supercell's not afraid of making several games in the same universe. But then again, a sequel and a spin-off are two very different things, which leads us to the next part of the video, why there shouldn't be a Clash of Clans sequel. First off, the reason why Clash Royale exists is because it's a completely different game from Clash of Clans. Just because it's in this the same universe doesn't make it a sequel to the game. It's a spin-off because it's a completely different game with different game mechanics, and it's not a base building game like Clash of Clans. And to be honest, I really doubt that Supercell would make a sequel to Clash of Clans because I don't really know if it would be original enough, because Supercell is really known to be original, and originality is actually one of the key factors that they think of when creating a new game. But I hear you saying, Boom Beach and Heyday were also base building games, weren't they? Well, you would be correct. But even though they might not be as original as Clash Royale and Brawl Stars, they still ended up being released because they were following the trend. The base building trend that Clash of Clans had created. In fact, Clash of Clans was so popular that all the app stores and all the Google Play stores were all filled with base building games, all kinds of clones and rip-offs of Clash of Clans. This genre of mobile games was so popular that it can kind of be compared to what Battle Royale games are today. So it kind of makes sense for Supercell to make more base building games back in the day, but these days, if they release base building games, it would probably not be as popular. And to be honest, I would much rather Supercell create a new original idea and a new original game instead of just a sequel to one of their old games. And I think most of you can agree with me on that, but obviously that's just my opinion. Also, let's not forget that a lot of people consider Clash of Clans to be like some kind of sacred game, and it's kind of starting to become a classic, in fact. And for most people, a sequel to Clash of Clans would be kind of disrespectful for the original game, especially if that sequel does not turn out to be as good as the real Clash of Clans. And to a lot of people, a Clash of Clans 2 would kind of seem like a cheap cash grab from Supercell and an insult to the original game, which is considered to be the best mobile game by quite a lot of people, actually. And to finish off the video, I'm just gonna say that Supercell is not even looking for any new ideas. And they just released Brawl Stars very recently, and it's doing very well, actually. And Clash Royale still has millions of players, and even the original Clash of Clans has a lot of players even today. So it's not like Supercell is desperate for new ideas. So I don't really see why they would make this game in the first place. And to cap it all off, I'm gonna have to say that there's most likely not gonna be a Clash of Clans 2. I'm sorry to crush your dreams, but it's just not very likely to happen. But it's still technically a possibility, and we've seen Supercell pull off some crazy things in the past, so it wouldn't be that surprising if they managed to make a good sequel to Clash of Clans. And that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out all my other videos. I don't have many other Clash of Clans videos, but I do have a few Clash Royale videos and a whole bunch of Brawl Stars videos if you're interested in those. And yeah, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and peace.